Hey everyone, welcome to Whole Artist Mastery. I'm Marianne Mitchell. As always, I so appreciate reading your comments that you leave behind after videos, and some of you actually email me with questions. And one of the questions recently was, how do you get the luminosity that you get in your paintings? So today's discussion is going to be addressing how I get the luminosity I get in my paintings. And we're also going to be looking at a couple of other artists in history who have achieved true luminosity, one abstract and one landscape representational painter. So the painting here that I want to talk with you about, that's my painting, is titled Collaboration, and it's oil on panel and it's 36 inches square. So how do you create luminosity? It's really mostly created by color relationships and value relationships. So in terms of color relationships, there are several different relationships that need to exist in order to really bring out that luminous quality. It has to do with opposite colors talking to each other, so like blue and orange, or purple and yellow, or green and red, as well as what I call reflected colors happening next to the strong color that's of the same color family. The other aspect that creates luminosity in your painting is high contrast value. So the darkest dark and the lightest lights are working together. Now that doesn't have to be necessarily present in all paintings to create luminosity, but the color relationships do need to be present in order to create luminosity. So here we are. I'm going to talk about some of the relationships here, and you'll get an up-close and personal view as well. So let's start with opposite color relationships. So over here, there's a purplish kind of gray brown. It's not entirely purple, but it has purple undertones. The opposite color to purple is yellow. So the yellow right here is giving light to this purple, and this purple here is giving light to the yellow. So when one of them is missing, the other one becomes flatter. In other words, there's color depth being created in this relationship. Another relationship that's creating color depth is the orange, the strength of the orange, and the blue, which floats throughout the whole piece, but specifically this blue here and the stronger version of blue rather than the lighter version of blue up here is talking to the strength of this orange here. So again, without one, the other one becomes flatter. So they're creating what I call color depth and play between those two colors. Another relationship has to do with the strong color and the reflected color. So this again is the strong orange, and to its side, juxtaposed, is a muted orange, or what I call a reflected orange, that's holding the strength of this orange. And this orange is giving light to the more muted orange. So they're working together to create luminosity. The same thing is happening here with the strength of this yellow being paired with a muted creamy color that has yellow, a yellow transparent film on it, so that the yellow creaminess of this color is keeping this from becoming too strong and dominating the entire piece. And the brilliance of this yellow is giving light to this more muted area in the painting. The edges of this painting are very dark value. They offset or help to illuminate the lighter values that are around the edges. So the lightest value in the whole painting is right here, juxtaposed to the darkest value of the whole painting. So together, they're creating depth. So your whole experience as you look at this painting is one of moving through light and color and an overall sense of luminosity in the painting. I'm going to talk about two paintings that I believe are really achieving great luminosity. One is by Frederick Church of the Hudson River School, which was a school in the mid-19th century, mid-1800s in the Hudson River Valley in upstate New York. And the other is by Mark Rothko, who was an abstract expressionist in the 40s and 50s. In the 20th century. So let's go to the paintings. This is the Frederick Church painting. It's called Cotopaxi in Ecuador, and it was done in 1862. Frederick Church is part of the Hudson River School of Painters, which was in the middle of the 19th century in the Hudson River Valley in upstate New York. So I picked this piece because of Frederick Church has a capacity to capture luminosity unlike most landscape painters, and I've been studying how he does this. And as I look at the brilliant yellow of the sun here, this is being reflected by the reflected yellow below. And then below that is this kind of orange ruddy color, like a burnt sienna color. And then just below that is this brilliant white, warm white. So, and then below that is this reflection of this brilliant yellow. So it's this color combination of brilliant yellow, reflected yellow, darker value, juxtaposed with a brilliantly light value, and then again the reflected color down here that's creating luminosity in this area. But beyond that, the sky over here is blue. I mean, it's a muted blue, but this muted blue is holding the overall orange tones in the painting. So once again, it's that opposite color, the blue and the orange, the muted and the strong, working together to create luminosity. In this area, the value is very light, and that's being paired with the dark value of the branches over here. So when one of these elements is missing, the other element becomes much flatter. The next one we're going to look at is Mark Rothko. I picked this piece. This is untitled, 1954, and I picked this piece because it's working with different color palette, in that the opposite colors here are green and red, although obviously the green has yellow undertones and the red has orange undertones. But within this area, you can see little hints of the green yellow or more yellow, which is a reflection of this brighter green yellow down here. And the darker green up here is talking to the redder areas in this light color. But overall, this is a lighter, more muted color than the greens that flank the muted orangey yellow, sort of whitish color in here. So again, it's the stronger color and the more reflected color that are creating color depth and color movement in this piece. I've had many people say to me, I love the kind of light that you get in your work. How do you get such luminous colors? So today I'm going to be showing you actually the techniques to achieve luminosity, some of the techniques. And I'm very much liking what's happening, and I want to push the color light even more. So what does that mean? Here there's white, but it's a warm white, and if I put just a little bit more yellow in this area, and a little bit more lavender here, purple and yellow are opposite each other. So by doing that and having the yellow be just a little bit brighter than the purple, then they're going to be playing with each other to create color light. Then we'll move over here after we do this, because what this relationship does will affect how we see this area and what to do about creating light there. The first thing I'm going to do is show you how much, so this is actually walnut galkid oil, which is a faster drying oil than just plain walnut oil. It's made by M. Graham and Company. So I put it in this little dropper bottle. Makes it a whole lot easier to use just a tiny bit of oil, because you really only need a tiny bit of oil here. So my objective is to have this be, right now there's no medium in this. So I want it to be just a little more spreadable, a little more open, so that it glides across the white area as opposed to being a patch on the white area. So I'm going to start with one drop. Whoops, well, that was two. So we'll see how that turns out. You always want to start with less. You can always add more. If you start with a lot, you're totally unable to take it out, and you end up with a whole bunch of paint that's less than desirable. So I think that's pretty good. I'm going to take my synthetic Princeton 6100 brush. It's a Summit series, and this is a flat brush, size 16, and just put some of the paint on the edge here. And so I'm picking up the yellow, and I'm going to very lightly brush the surface of the white, warm white here, just to make it a little more yellow here. And I'm going from bottom to the top, and then I'm going to go from top to bottom in the opposite direction, which blends the color more effectively, like that. And I can diffuse that in a little bit, but first I want to put the purple, just make this a little stronger as I'm making this a little stronger, a little more yellow. And then if I want to make this edge more diffused than it is, I can come in and pull at the edge backwards like this, and then go in a circular motion here. And that way it makes this in a regular edge and gives it a more organic look, which for this particular painting is what I'm looking for. Now I'm going to come in with the purple, and I'm going to use the 6100 series Princeton Filbert number 16, and I'm going to press it down, open up the bristles like this, which effectively ruins it, and I'm doing that on purpose. So I call this my ruined filbert technique. And it opens up the bristles so it has sort of this pom-pom effect. And I do this with a filbert as opposed to a pom-pom brush, because the pom-pom brush, the bristles often fall out really easily. And so then you have bristles in your painting. So I'm going to take this and just kind of dot really lightly here, up in a little more paint. And as I go, there's less paint on the brush, which is what I want. As I go further out, I want it to be more diffused. And I'm going to go into this gray over here, like this. And then I can go in a circular motion, splaying the bristles, which helps to blend it and rub it into the colors below. Another method would be to take a dish towel. This is an IKEA dish towel. It's several years old. I'm not sure they're still making it, but it has a little bit of a nub to the cloth without it, without the nubbiness rubbing out of coming out of the cloth. And I make it into a ball like this, and I rub in this direction, a circular motion, and that helps to blend things. And so now you can see, without really seeing all these colors, they're working together, they're totally blended, so they're working in consort to create what I call color light. In other words, the warm and the cool, the red and the greenish color and then the grayish color, the warm gray in the middle, is bringing these two together. Now I might feel that this yellow is a little too strong, so I'm going to come in with a t-shirt cloth and just dot it a little bit here, like this. It's a softer cloth, and then rub it like that. It diffuses it just a little bit. The next area I'm going to address is over here, and I'm still not quite sure what I want to do about this, but I think that since this is warm and this is mostly cool, I think this needs to be warm so that it's like it's a reflection, a darker value reflection of the lighter warm. So with the two warms on either side, they'll be talking to each other, but this will be much darker. And then I want to travel this line just a little bit into that. So maybe I'll try that first, because this is talking to this. If I cover this up, this white shape or light yellow shape becomes way too dominant in the whole piece. So this is a crucial element, and I'm just going to travel it a little bit more. I hope you found this informative, and if you did, I would so appreciate you pressing that little like icon and subscribing to the Whole Artist Mastery YouTube channel. and you'll become part of the Whole Artist Mastery community. What we are doing is so important. And to support you on that journey, I invite you to go to the Whole Artist Mastery website, where you'll see online classes that address color and composition, as well as the mentorship program. So if you're interested in learning more about a Whole Artist Mastery mentorship, if you're really feeling like individual guidance and going deeper within yourself and developing your language on a greater scale, sign up for a complimentary conversation. I would love to talk to you and share with you how I work with people in the mentorship programs. Okay, that's it. I'll see you next time. Thanks very much for watching.